Once again, you're heartily welcome back to the program Press Brief. We start off this program for today with My Hospital. My Hospital newspaper, the house paper for this morning, talks of insecurity in hospital. It reports of a new case of a stolen baby in a health facility in Yaoundé, and this is at the Baptist Hospital in a condom at the annex of Bingo in Yaoundé. Get read more on that story of a stolen baby who was being delivered of recently and stolen in the maternity. You want to find more on that said publication for today. And Lakantini Hospital, the paper reports of Lakantini Hospital takes the advancement when it comes to health provision. You get to read that story on the bottom page story on that said publication for today. Distinction, the paper report of the Magabi IC Cameroon Eye Institute. The paper says a well-equipped health facility for eye problems. You want to find more on that said publication for this day. Moving forward with the next paper for today, that is L'Indépendant. It talks of the fight against fraud in the petroleum sector. This pronouncement made by the Minister of Water Resources and Energy, Gaston Eludu Isumba, who says zero tolerance to that. You can find details on that paper of L'Indépendant for this morning. And the Kobak and Sidek affair, it says the president's ordinance will be coming next regarding the transfer of funds between Kobak and Sidek. Get to read more on that sub-regional financial institutions in the Semak sub-region. We move on to quotidian emissions for this morning. The paper reports of the Glencore affair. It says the march to London. This is the pronouncement of Barrister Akere Muna, who happens to be champion of anti-corruption in Cameroon and the person spearheading the Glencore corruption scandal involving 10.6 million US dollars. Olympic Games, the paper reports of Team Cameroon returns home with 0 medal. You can find more on that said publication for today. And we now take you to municipal updates of Victor Bamacham for this day. It talks of elections of new mayor. He says deadlock in Bello following the killing of the mayor of Bello, and now the council in the northwest region is stuck in this quagmire state of a deadlock in the elections of a new mayor. Government seeks CFA France 23 billion to improve on Yaoundé drainage system. That's the story you can find on the bottom page story on municipal updates for today. New waste management company announced for the city of Douala to see the light of day in the days ahead. You can find details on the pronouncement of the city mayor of Douala, Dr. Roger Mbassa Tine. Le Jour newspaper, another Yaoundé-based publication of Haman Mana, reports of the Olympic Games in Paris 2024. 30 officials, 6 athletes, 0 medal for Team Cameroon. That's a big caption you can find on Le Jour for this day. And Gabriel Njoksi talks of BTS and HNT into the health sector is quite illegal. This is the pronouncement made by Gabriel Njosi. We move forward with Charlie Gabriel Mbok, who talks of Cameroon practices a dictatorial democracy. You can find more on Le Jour newspaper for today, and that story completes herself on page 4 to 5 on Le Jour of Haman Mana for this morning. From Le Jour, we move forward with Cameroon Insider, one of the publications of Marie Claire Nana for this morning. It talks of reconstruction of Northwest Southwest regions. Presidential plan gets retouched for more efficiency. That's a big story you can find on Cameroon Insider for this day. Enactment decrease in this issue. Get to read more on that said publication. Police snap alleged human born traffickers in the far north region of Cameroon. Paris Olympic, even SMA couldn't make it. You can find more on the bottom page story on page 15 of Cameroon Insider newspaper for today. We remain with Marie Claire Nana with her publications. This time around, Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune for this morning talks of the universal health coverage. He says the first phase. Get to read details on that said paper. Human rights promotion protection. August guest visits Cameroon today as the UN human rights chief is in the nation. Will be in the nation Cameroon in the hours ahead. We move forward with the prevention of malaria in the country, the fight that is being spearheaded by the Cameroonian government and supporting small and medium-sized enterprises known for short as SMEs. It says fresh opportunities. Get to read more on Cameroon Tribune for today. From Cameroon Tribune, we move on to Lenfoa Show for today. It talks of this announced strike action by pilots of the national aviation carrier, that is Cameco. Get with details on that said paper for today. Presidential elections for 2025. The paper reports of the proposition of a candidate, Al Abubakar Osmani May. You can find more on him on the paper Info Show on page 12. From Info Show newspaper, we move forward with Le Messager of late Pius Njawi. It talks of the Glencourt affair. Let's move on to London. This is Barrister Akeremuna as the court hearing regarding corrupt officials in Sonara and SNH will be made known as for Tuesday, September the 10th. Over there in a Westminster court in London. Get to be details on Le Messager for this morning. And a condom, a locality in Yaoundé, the paper reports of a stolen baby that was being conducted by some persons in the health facility of the Baptist Hospital, that's the Cameroon Baptist Convention Health Service in a condom at the Bingo Annex, of course. We move on to this other story regarding Cameroon in Volca for search for Turkey. Get to read details on that said publication of late Pius Njawi for this day. From Pius Njawi paper, we move now to Le Populi, the satiric newspaper for this morning. It talks of Bia loses sleep to IBIC. That is a big story you can find on Le Populi for today. Glencourt's corruption scandal. Barrister Akeremuna disputes or the communique of Adolphe Mudiki, the Executive Director General of the Cameroon National Hydrocarbon Company, known for short in French as SNH. Get to read details on that satiric newspaper of Le Populi. From Le Populi, we move on to the Nigerian publication. We start off with The Punch. The Punch for this morning reports of hunger protests, military talk stuff as pro-Russia rallies spread all across Nigeria. Why fuel importers will frustrate Dangote, according to Nigerian former President Olusegun Obasanjo. Fuel accuse to clear as loading resume at depot and blackouts as national grid collapses again. We move on to the bottom page story. Lagos chief's murder. DPP indicts police inspector. Riots, the riots all across Nigeria, Indonesia, Australia warn citizens about traveling to the United Kingdom. Blueprints for this morning reports on as protesters fly Russian flags. Military will resist treasonable push change in government, according to Musa. In a said publication, Hunton comments hope cards to improve on 2024 Hajj exercise. And sports, a Frenchman, Javier Renard, agreed to pay cuts to new Super Eagles coach. Get to read more on that said paper for today. New Telegraph for this day says we will defend democracy. Says CDS as Tinubu's security chiefs meet in the state villa of Aso Rock over hardship protests spread all across Nigeria. Fiscal deficit, banks loans to government hits 8.08 trillion naira. And Ondo gubernatorial election, the Independent Electoral Commission of Nigeria (INEC) removes 92.78 new registrants over irregular registration in these states that will be going in for gubernatorial election. Nigerian Tribune for this morning reports on the military warrant of treason as protesters fly Russian flags in Kaduna, Kano, and other cities in Nigeria. Nigerian equities market withhold global cash dips of 0.2%, and reps dissolve a joint committee investigating the NNPCL and the DPRA, and court declares sale of Nigerian Air to Ethiopian airline null and void. You can find details on that said paper. Off-season election, INEC updates register with 109.206 in Edo, while some 58,708 new electors were being registered in Ondo State, all of southwest Nigeria. The Guardian for this news for this day reports on federal government prioritizes National Assembly State House spending amidst MDA's funding crisis. In that said publication, military rouse crackdown over treasonous use of Russian flag at protests in Nigeria. Reps dissolve panel probing allegation of dative fall, blame negative media coverage. INEC register fresh 117 thousand voters in Odo gubernatorial election, and that's of Edo State. And we move forward with Leadership newspaper for this morning. It says EFCC places local government administrators under watch, and criminals have hijacked hunger protests, military warns. And we move on to Air Nigeria, court voids agreement with Ethiopian Airlines. Get to read more on that said publication for today. Bangladesh Prime Minister resigns, flee the country as protesters storms presidential palace. We move away from the Nigerian tabloid. We now come back to Cameroon with the Cameroonian papers. We start off with we resume now with Horizon newspaper for today reports on value of passports. Cameroon gain place in the world ranking of countries with most recommendable passports. Get to read more on that said paper. HIV and AIDS spreads in Cameroon. Peer educators have been educated to educate their age mates on the use of the prevailing rate of HIV and AIDS in the country and ways to mitigate the spread. We move forward with this other health paper. Le Medecin reports of the impact of HIV and AIDS in Cameroon. It says time for evaluation. Get to read more on Le Medecin newspaper for today. Cameroon African Union, the paper report of exchange of ideas on better health services in the nation. Get to read details on the said paper. And still, and CP and the World Health Organization reports on the fight against malaria. What has been achieved for the past years. Get a copy of that publication and read the entirety of that story. We'll wrap up the program for this morning with the last paper, that is Génération Libre for this day. It talks of the fight against fraud in the petroleum sector. It says the disposition put in place by the Ministry of Water Resources and Energy, headed by Gaston Elunju Isomba, as reported by Génération Libre newspaper for today. We move on to this electronic contribution of a way of examination. It says partnership saluted for the advancement of this identification of potential candidates for examinations. Get to read more on that paper for today. With that publication of Génération Libre, viewers of High Television and the program Press Brief, this is what concludes the Tuesday's edition. See you tomorrow, God willing. Bye bye.